My dad's first competition was DreamHack 2017, and they were nervous. That was the first time they got together. They hadn't practiced for very long, just a few months. So they got a beating from younger teams. They didn't have peers to play with. But it was a good experience, and Dad loved, learning from, getting hit and being able to stand up and get better.
We lose every struggle, but we was happy. We get some support from the audience just because we have guts, and never mind if we lose or we won, but we lose every game in this competition. It was impossible to be better. And once, and we meet the DreamHack this same year. It wasn't so much time to be prepared. We know that we can lose this, but just like to show we came, we have guts, and we were not afraid to lose.
At DreamHack 2017, this was kind of the first time we heard of the Silver Snipers, and was the first time really we heard of senior citizens essentially playing esports at a very high level. This was completely unprecedented, unheard of, and it was incredibly entertaining. It was automatically a fan favorite because while they were not, at the same level as the CS pros that were playing on that stage that weekend, they were still surprisingly good for the amount of time that they had put into the game. I believe none of the players had put in more than 100 hours into CSGO in their lives before that competition. And to provide a little bit of perspective, before a big LAN like that, most pro teams will put in 100 hours within the last 2 weeks.
We try to remember everything, but in the beginning it's not so easy. Our coach said, don't be afraid to be killed. He showed us basically movement, how to use the mouse, how to use the different letters. You have to play like the team. The team is about 5 members, like a finger. Together, they're like a fist. Communication is very important, and this is the power. After some hours, some training hours, it is possible. If I can, you can too. I hadn't fought before. In the start, I wasn't so sure, but now I am sure, because my health is better than before, and working with the team was perfect.
One of the more exciting moments for Dad was playing in Paris 2018. The whole team flew to Paris. Dad and I had been to Paris before. We'd loved running around to the Louvre, taking pictures of museum and buildings. As he went there with the whole team, everybody was surprised to see my dad in his 70s walking around, and the energy was tremendous. The room was huge. There was thousands of people, and when they played, the audience were surprised that they decided to pick 5 random players from the audience aged 10 to 25 to play the Swedish team.
It was about 40,000 people, young people, 8 years to 25 years. It was in the Lenovo space. It was some friends competition between audience, teams, and us.
And to his disbelief, he won. His team won against the random 5 people he picked, and the whole stadium cheered. The energy was exuberant, and people wanted to take pictures with him left and right. So he had a great time, and he had a great moment being able to interact with the younger generation.
And what's really, really cool about that is that these weren't just regular everyday people. These were hardcore fans of Counter-Strike that showed up to watch highest level of Counter-Strike out there. So for them to be able to take on a lot of these fans in the audience and defeat them is actually a really, really remarkable feat. I mean, these players are all very familiar with the competitive strategies. They've logged countless hundreds of hours on the game. And to be able to take down some of those players at their age and with their limited time playing the game is something that I don't think will soon be forgotten or replicated.
Initially, it was a publicity stunt to get the team together to sell more computers and PC equipment. But at the time that he created another team in Finland, they started competing with the Finnish team at the same age. because they had opponents that were peers of theirs. At that time, the game started getting a little more serious because the Finnish team won, the Swedish team won, and then at the World Cup 2019, they had 4 teams in total: Finland, Germany, US, and Sweden competing.
We was playing against each other. We was very good about communication, about coordination between our tools and communication with team members. And we was in the beginning afraid because we lose twice with the Finland's team. So it wasn't so easy. But in the end, we won.
They were put against a couple of other teams from different countries, Finland, Germany, and they were able to play Finland in the finals and actually beat them. And this made Birdie the oldest champion in esports of all time. And the funny thing is that obviously he was playing representing the Swedish national team, which is usually considered the best nation in the world at Counter-Strike. So it's a little bit ironic that even, as they age 60 years later, the Swedes are still better than all of us at CS. The Silver Snipers were put against a couple of other teams from different countries, Finland, Germany, and they were able to play Finland in the finals and actually beat them. And this made Birdie the oldest champion in esports of all time.
I was 76. After this, we signed our autographs, done some pictures with the audience and with the opponents. Victory. It was scream, it was jumping, it was confetti, pictures. It's a history. Everybody is crazy. And then after this we celebrate with champagne and we have a good time. It feels fantastic. It feels great. It's impossible to forget it. It's happened maybe once or twice in the life.